Aint Slayed Nobody is a Call of Cthulhu podcast with violent themes and adult language. Listener discretion is advised. Previously on Aint Slayed Nobody. Deputy Sheriff Ellie Bishop hired 4 men to hang an accomplice in her father's murder.
I'm not the one actually doing it, right? Like, I have my crew who can take care of it.
One reformed member of that gang made the deadly push.
The only reason I done this is because you have no honor on you.
Then a 2-man ambush arrived late to the hanging with an unusual request. I just want the body! That didn't work out too good for those fellas.
I'm gonna turn this guy's femur into mist.
But one of them outlaws offered up the possible hideout of their boss Colin Brock with his dying breath.
Take it to Olvido.
This Olvido, I heard of that place, and we ride a couple days upriver. We're gonna stumble across it.
Shall we ride?
I can't tell, it's gonna burn me down.
As we pick up our journey, the party has been following the map that Ellie found in the dead rider's saddlebags for about 2 hours. The trail heads north along the western bank of the Rio Grande. In this heat, the horses can cover 30 to 40 miles of ground per day, depending on how much giddy-up they have. And of course, Johnny Rhodes is weighing down Ellie's horse.
He's a slight man, though.
Yes, Johnny is quite small. We've discussed that at length. During the ride, everyone has been taking in the sights, which are rather green along the river. There are plants and grassy areas all around here.
Can Johnny look around in some way and see if there is something to hunt?
Yeah, just let me pull out my Oregon Trail Handbook. Give me a natural world roll for hunting suitability of the land.
Johnny looks around, and near as he can tell, there's never been life on this planet.
You've died of dysentery.
Y'all, I don't know if anything's ever lived out here.
How much jerky do we have?
You have enough to survive. It's only 2 days to Olvido.
We hit the Buc-ee's on the way out of Cannetillo.
Why do we need to eat right now?
We've been gone for 2 hours.
So your party is losing track of time, riding along the trail, bantering back and forth.
Y'all wanna play I Spy?
You've arrived at a fork in the trail. If you head right at the fork, there's a bridge crossing to the eastern side. The left side of the fork meanders inland, away from the river and toward higher ground in the northwest.
Is Olvido on the side of the river that we're on, or on the other side of the river?
Good question. Olvido is on the west side of the Rio Grande.
Which is where we currently are. I'd like to see if I can use Navigate to remember where it was since I've been by there.
You can probably at least determine what the shortest route is from here.
I rolled a 5. Wow, that's an extreme success. I fucking built that bridge.
Now you, Johnny, sitting at this fork in the trail, have memories flooding back about eastern New Mexico and this section of the Rio Grande in particular. You think you remember that crossing the Rio Grande on your right here would eventually put you up against a large cliff face a little further upriver. You think there may be ways to work through that terrain, but it's a long and difficult ride at best. If you go left, you remember that there used to be some Apache holdouts.
It's my favorite band.
As you head further inland toward the mountains, that's where they would have lived. But since Geronimo's surrender 5 years ago, most Apache have been forced to reservations elsewhere by the U.S. Army.
I've been by this way before. Fastest way to Olvido's to the left.
Now take us away from the water.
We're just like a day out. We feel our canteens would be all right.
Johnny is the only one that has prior knowledge of the Olvido place. I think we'd be making a mistake to not trust him here.
What happens if we go to the other way? What's to the right?
I mean, you can see it got another bridge. That didn't go so great last time.
Yeah, but we don't have a noose around anybody on this bridge.
Oh man, you want to take the long way, that's up to you.
Hey, I'm just asking questions.
Well, yeah, I don't want to say too much, but I did roll a 5.
I'll go wherever the sheriff wants to go.
Johnny knows more than any of us do. We need to just trust what he knows.
The party heads down the left trail at this fork, and the foliage begins to melt away as you work your way northwest. The mountain formations and foothills to the west are now looming as you get closer. Everything is barren, and it feels a little unsettling being in this flat, which is the lowest possible ground.
Hey, Lance, you keep a sharp weather eye out. We may not be alone around here.
Yeah, I'll have my eye out and my guns ready. Can I ride over to Jeremiah?
Yeah, you can ride wherever you'd like.
Jeremiah, I forgot to thank you for patching up my wound. I appreciate you taking care of me.
You're welcome. Where I come from, if you can do something for a feller, you do it. So, just glad to help out.
That's what I wanted to ask you about, actually. Yeah, you come from Idaho, correct?
Yeah.
Did you happen to notice anything strange when you came down this way?
Notice anything strange? No, I did hear voices. I heard screams and yells. But I thought that was just kind of the normal dream sequence I have, because of the things that haunt me from the mines.
So you've had some experiences in the mines?
Well, I'm a miner. I've had plenty of experiences in the mines.
Maybe Lance didn't know that. I'm just,
Maybe Lance didn't take any notes from last time.
Well, to be fair, it's the West. Everybody does a bit of mining every once in a while. Doesn't necessarily mean you've been down in the mines.
That's fair. Yeah, I've been down in the mines. I've been up in the mines. I've been all over the mines.
I've done my fair share of sifting in the rivers as well.
Oh, you're a panner. One of those weak people that sits out by the river and looks in the dirt. We dig. Where I'm from, son. We dig, scratch, claw, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. That's what a miner is. You're trying to trip and fall into gold. We're in there getting the stuff out of the earth.
Jeremiah, come here real quick.
Uh-huh.
I'd like you to take a look at my ears and see what you see.
That you need to clean them.
Are we all just watching this?
I just love that Jay was trying to show off his cauliflower ears.
Maybe we have had different ways of looking for gold, and I don't really appreciate you slighting me like that.
I'm just razzing you. It's all right, man. Take a chill pill. How you doing?
Again, I have to thank you. My wound isn't too bad now.
I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. So tell me, this feller that shot Ellie's pappy, he's a bad guy?
Colin Brooke is one of the most disgusting human beings that I've ever had the misfortune to know. I joined up with his gang, thinking that he was a bit of a Robin Hood. I learned quickly that wasn't the case. You know, these banks, they've stolen from my family. Back in Ireland, back in Donegal. But when I joined on, I didn't think we'd be killing with no qualms. He's as cold and calculating as anyone I've ever seen.
Well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black?
Yeah, that'd be crazy if somebody just went up and killed somebody just all of a sudden, like.
I have to tell you that Colin Brooke, he seems a little bit touched lately.
That sounds weird.
Maybe it's the desert sun, or maybe it's something else that's gotten to him. But he's not the same man that I once knew. He's always been a dishonorable scumbag. But now, I think he may be descending into a little bit of the madness.
Now, when you say madness...
It was like a paranoia. He wanted to rob this research facility. He wouldn't let any of us know about it. Others had their doubts as well. But considering I had my own motivations, I couldn't really confide in any of them.
Johnny clearly looks perturbed by this. Maybe spooked is the right word.
What's wrong with you, Johnny?
I ain't looking forward to this trip no more.
Wait, should I be feeling bad about this?
You can't hear us, old man.
I've had about enough of y'all talking. We just need to focus on what we're doing and get to where we're going.
I can't hear you. This is a hollering troop.
I'm not going to holler everything.
After you ride up the trail for 7 or 8 miles, you're approaching something that looks quite out of place off to the right side of the trail. It's hard to tell because it's maybe 500 yards away, but it looks to y'all like some kind of giant figure.
Well, can I see what I can see from here before we move closer to it?
You're pretty far away from it. What do you want to do exactly?
I mean, like, what color is it? Can I tell?
It's hard to tell from this distance, but it looks brownish gray from here. You might not have even noticed it if this area wasn't so desolate. There are no trees or bushes, and there's no life as far as y'all can tell.
Did you say... Oh, God damn it.
This thing looks very out of place, standing right up against the trail. You just can't make out much detail from here.
So there's nothing. There's just a random-ass brown statue?
You don't know that it's a statue, but it is motionless.
It's not living?
You don't know for sure that it's not living, but it's not moving.
It's actually one of those living statues like in Times Square.
Right.
Yeah, this is Caesar's Palace, and the statue show starts in 1 hour in front of the Cheesecake Factory.
Sweet.
We may get to the statue by then. Are we in like a canyon or something? Can I see for a long ways in every direction?
All of the higher elevation is west on your left.
Maybe we kind of want to like sit back a little bit and see what's going on. Maybe we could hear something.
Okay, so you can roll for listen. You can all roll for listen if you just want to see if you're hearing anything out of the ordinary. Because nothing bad happens when this party rolls for listen.
I got a 72, which is a regular success.
Barely. Okay.
C's still passing is all I'm saying.
I rolled a 19, but I don't have any points assigned to listen.
Right, me neither.
20% is the base, so it's barely a success for you.
I rolled a 59. What does that mean?
Okay, so you failed.
I failed.
That's fine.
I rolled a 73, so I failed.
Okay. Ellie, did you roll? Alex?
I got 82.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you failed as well.
Cool.
You had a couple successes here, but nobody hears anything remarkable. It's very quiet, with just the wind echoing off the mountains. The stillness and quiet is making everyone a little uneasy.
Look, I'm not hearing anything, but I don't like the looks of this. I think maybe we should try to find a way to ride around it.
All the same to y'all, I want to know what that thing is.
I would like to see it.
All right, well, let me get my gun out.
I think we need to go with Johnny. Just because he's still the one who knows the most about where we're going. And so he'd be the one who could maybe get us out of a mess if we end up in it.
The majority that has decided to ride up to this, whatever this is. I have a terrible feeling, but so it goes.
Lance, how about you find a good spot and get that rifle out?
Well, if I had a rifle, I'd get it out, but I have 2 pistols.
Oh, never mind.
2 pistols equals a rifle.
Lance, I have this rifle that I have absolutely no idea how to use that I got last arc.
You can hand it to me, because I do have points for that.
It is literally my only gun, but yeah, I'm gonna lend my rifle.
Y'all could trade.
Can I give him one of my pistols?
Yeah, I don't care. You can. The rifle he's giving you is like a Red Ryder BB gun.
Oh, well,
All
that's
right,
not.
You know what? Fuck it. Never mind.
I should probably just hang on to my pistols then.
Johnny's got his rifle out like he's hunting wabbits.
I think Ellie should probably be the one in the best position to shoot, because I think her rifle is the most powerful, right?
That's true. She's a crack shot.
Hell yeah.
I think somebody ought to watch our back. I'm gonna go in and take a look at this statue. Who's coming with me?
I'll come with you. My best firearms are at close range.
I'm coming with my 32 fight and brawl.
Deadly with a cross.
I like to think that you're carrying a cross that you've like sharpened one of the points of it.
What, like in From Dusk Till Dawn?
Sure. That's what you've been doing during the ride so far, is sharpening your cross.
Yeah, I am going in on foot with Lance. Lance, is that a good idea? Are we going in on foot? As I'm saying that, now it sounds crazy.
I think we should have horses, just in case we need to get out of there.
Maybe I ride with you.
Yeah, you ride with me. We'll double up on this. And I think we should have Ellie up in those rocks up there, the sheriff, to cover us with that rifle while we go investigate a little bit closer.
Good idea. There is a little perch where somebody can be lookout and have a decent vantage point on what you are doing and what is going on around you.
I'm going to the perch.
We should leave Jeremiah behind then.
You want to leave my big ass handgun behind? Okay. I will stay back.
My preference would be to leave Father Flint behind, but maybe he comes out with the cross.
On second thought, I'm gonna stay back with Ellie and pray over her.
Y'all want me to go over there and prove that it's no big deal to ride by it?
Please say yes. Are all 3 of you going to ride in on the same horse?
You gonna stiffen up?
I would have commissioned fan art for that.
Jeremiah, what's the name of your horse?
Yeah, wasn't there a series of nods?
Y'all want to know the name of my horse?
Yeah, real quick off the top of your dome, what did you name that horse?
Me and Mr. Wriggles over here?
Mr. Wriggles.
Jeremiah on Mr. Wriggles and Johnny riding side saddle behind Lance approach this mysterious figure that is off to the right of the trail. And as you get closer, you see that clearly this is the back of the structure. It's facing north, and you can see a wooden frame and the supports that are holding it up. There is interwoven willow and vine and branches kind of filling out this figure on top of this frame. This is the shape of a human, like an effigy.
It's a wicker man. Y'all, I think we done walked up on Burning Man. All right, everybody take your clothes off. I want to look real hard at this thing. I got some eyes and I want to use them.
Yeah, if you want to squint real hard with a spot hidden, has Johnny seen Blair Witch Project?
You know, Johnny's not real into the found footage shit.
Johnny has only seen Book of Shadows.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna squint the shit with my spot hidden. And that's a 44, which is a regular success. No, wait, yeah, that's a regular success.
Johnny, you've confirmed that you are behind this figure and that it's mostly made up of wood and vines. You do believe whatever makes this thing interesting is probably on the other side of the figure. You can now also see that there are items tied onto and draped over this structure, including animal pelts, antlers, and feathers. There appears to be some jewelry, and you can barely make out what looks like the top of a skull of some kind at the top of the structure.
Y'all ain't 100% sure what that is, but there is some bad shit going on here.
Yeah, I don't like this at all. It doesn't have a good look to it.
Just to give the internal monologue, Johnny is very torn here between wanting to know more and wanting to get the hell away from this. Maybe I can find a way to sneak up there and peek a look. Is there like brush? Is there something I could hide in?
You could roll for stealth. And like I said, there's not a lot of vegetation here.
I'm going to sneak up on a mannequin.
There are some rock formations to your left. And I think if you did well with your stealthiness, you could probably sneak up on this thing.
With my body constantly contorting to match the shape of the rock that I'm next to, like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Hey, so couple quick questions.
Yes.
Am I within handgun range, and is Ellie within rifle range?
Okay, so
good and important questions to whether or not I'm going to sneak up on this.
Ellie has ridden up on the perch, and she has followed y'all along as far as she can, which just so happens to be at a pretty ideal range for her rifle. Lance, you're on the bubble for the range of your pistols. Assuming you are shooting at the effigy, you'd have to roll hard success. But the closer you get, the better your accuracy will be.
Well, he's going to stay on horseback. He could close the distance pretty quick.
That's true. Yeah,
True.
It depends on when whatever took action, I guess. I'm not trying to scare y'all.
I'm willing to go sneak up on this thing.
Why don't you give me a stealth roll?
All right, that is a 52. That's a regular success.
Okay, so you managed to shimmy along these rocks. Nothing detects you doing this, and you're now starting to get pretty close to this effigy, to the point where you're 90% sure that you were correct earlier in your assumption that this thing has an animal skull on top of it.
Would you say, or would I know, if this is Native American in nature or other?
Okay, good question.
I feel like that's an important question based on prior knowledge that Johnny already has.
Johnny, why don't you give me an education roll? And since you don't have very much expertise in Native American culture and behavior, you're going to have to give me a hard success.
That is a 28. I'm rolling hot.
Oh,
Wow.
you did it. You did it. So you had to beat 36. And
I feel like people are going to think that I'm cheating, and I'm not.
That's fine. I believe you. And as far as Johnny can recall, this would be very abnormal behavior for Apache people. They are generally private about rituals and matters concerning death. So this figure is very out of place and odd.
It's atypical behavior.
Johnny, you are torn though, because the proximity to the former holdout area and the presence of pelts, feathers, and jewelry suggest Apache influence.
Okay.
The only other thing that Johnny saw around this effigy is what appears to be like a stone circle at the feet on the north side.
I would like to relate that information to my comrades, but this is a rare case where I would like to not holler.
To use all that stealth and then holler.
This looks bad!
Yeah, like if he hasn't seen anything, then he would probably just yell and be like, "The coast is clear."
Woody, Johnny,
Because how about you don't put words into Johnny's mouth?
All right, fair point. Maybe he should get closer.
yeah, so you can get a little bit closer based on what you've seen, or you can go back and talk to your crew.
I'm going in. What do I have to do to go in?
You have to play the song by DJ Khaled.
You can walk past the thing and look at it.
Oh, that seems like a way to die. Yeah, we got to be stealthy about it.
I'm going to let you carry your prior stealth into this action.
Okay. Then I'm going in. I got to know more.
You're not going to like walk up and strap a knife on the effigy. Against his better judgment, Johnny decides to continue shimmying along the rock face to get a closer look at that figure. And he keeps going until he is standing in front of it with a clear view of the other side. You, Johnny, get a good look at that animal skull tied at the top of the figure, and you are now certain that this is a goat skull with curved horns. Under that skull, as you kind of take the whole thing in, toward the center of the effigy's body, encased in vines, you see a blood-red mass about the size of your fist, and you are quite sure that this is a human heart.
Oh my god.
Now, it might be because you're scared, Johnny, but you think you saw that heart beat for a couple of seconds when you first laid eyes on it.
Okay. I feel like I've investigated enough for Johnny's comfort level.
Cup, do you have a good counselor?
It must have been your imagination.
It must have been.
Please roll 1d4 for sanity loss.
Okay. That's a 1. I am slightly less sane than I was.
Before you saw it, yeah. Because you were truly rattled by what you saw. You lost just a tick of sanity. The good news is you're still much saner than the rest of your party.
As evidenced by our daily interactions.
And you do get a better look too at that stone circle that was at the feet of the effigy, and there's some kind of symbol made up of stones and branches inside of the stone circle, and it looks to you like the stem and veins of a leaf without the leafy parts.
Do I get a good enough look at it that I could recreate that by sketching it in the dirt with a stick later?
Let's look at it for about 20 seconds, and then you can do that.
And how long will the ambush take?
So let's say you can pretty much remember what this. It's a very simple shape.
Johnny is officially ready to leave in the safest and most expeditious manner possible.
So Johnny's going to shimmy back along the rocks until he gets to where Lance is waiting on his horse.
Johnny, do you want to explain to me what you've seen up there?
They got some sort of, I don't know, human effigy up there, but it's got a goat skull on it, and there's I may have been off my mark, but that looked like a human heart, and I swear it. Hell, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but I swear I seen the thing beat. They got some sort of ritual circle, and it's got a symbol on it, and Johnny draws it in the dirt with a stick.
Is that like a leaf or something?
I guess so. Johnny is spooked.
I heard about these living tree people where I was from, and they ain't no harm to us. I bet we could walk right by it.
Are you talking about Ents?
Are you from Middle Earth? Yeah.
You calling me a liar, old man?
I ain't calling you no liar. I just think you're too scared of it.
You calling me yellow?
Why are you coming at me?
I'm looking up your fighting numbers right now.
Please don't. I think we give that thing a wide berth and we ride around.
We've come this far, though. Shall we do more investigating?
I reckon this thing's alive. Can I kill it?
You're going to need to get a little bit closer to find out if you can kill it. Why don't we do this? Jeremiah and Lance, the two of you are going to ride in to take a closer look, while Johnny, what are you going to do? Hide behind a rock?
Describe to me these rock formations and find me the hiddenest of places.
Everyone's going to leave Johnny by himself. He's going to get killed. Jeremiah and Lance ride out to get a closer look at this effigy from the north side. You've confirmed Johnny's account that there is a goat skull and what appears to be a human heart in the top center of the effigy. And you do see this stone circle formation with the six-pointed branch shape inside it.
Lance, you looking at this? You got your eyes fixed on this? Is that a heart?
Jeremiah, I can't see what you're talking about. Let me ride a little bit closer to you.
Why don't you get up there? Get on in there.
Cap, I'm riding up close to him.
Okay, yeah, you're both.
You're right real close to me.
Everything's in view. You're real close.
Okay.
You're maybe like 8 feet away from this thing now.
Get closer.
I'll tell you, it's not a good feeling I have at all looking at this. It looks like a human heart to me. Not that I've seen a lot of them.
Well, and you have a body, it looks just like that.
Had you cut open that other body, you could have got a good look.
Right. You get a gander at that fancy jewelry this thing's wearing?
I think we should burn it.
Well, tell me. Why do you think we should set this on fire? What in your experience says that?
Well, I don't have too much experience, but I do know that wood burns. Wait, what should we do with this? Should we just leave it be and go on riding through?
I want to ask it a question.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Hey, you. Quick question. You Apache or what?
So interestingly,
Yes. Very interestingly.
you don't hear anything except a slight echo of your own voice. But since you're the first person who's really fixed eyes on the goat skull, you do see what appears to be a dull green light emanating from the mouth of the goat, which
Nope, don't like that.
is pretty interesting because it is very bright daylight and you're still picking up this very...
And also because it's a goat skull.
This very slight glow.
Hey, Irish. You catching this light coming out of that goat skull?
What are you on about?
Look at it. Look at the goat skull.
Alright, do I see it now?
When he says that, you also kind of fix your gaze on the mouth of this goat, and you do. You see exactly what he sees, a dull green color. I would like Lance and Jeremiah to give me a D4 sanity roll.
Yay! Well, I got a 4.
Okay.
So that puts me down to 46.
Okay, you were already kind of low. Yeah, so you're at 46.
I told you, that's why you make that decision.
But that tracks with his character, I think.
I got a 2.
It does.
So I'm down to...
It does track. You're
53.
53. Yeah. All right. So everybody lost a little bit of sanity. Shockingly, Johnny lost the least, even though he's the most rattled.
Johnny sees some shit, man.
I'll be honest with you. I don't have a good feeling about this, but I think we should stay calm.
Can I roll to get a little insight into that thing?
I'm going to let you do that only if you get closer.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah,
I wanna,
get real close.
I want to get up in it. Can I get up in it and look at it?
Yeah, so the mouth is probably 9 to 10 feet off the ground.
But what if Lance boosted me up? Like if he held his hand out?
That's fine. I'll let Lance boost you because he appears to be lanky, but he's not lanky, as we know.
Right.
He's a strong guy, but he's going to have to consent to that.
Hey, I want to go get a gander at this thing. You want to come lift me up there?
I'll give you a boost up there.
That's right. Curious too.
All right. So, Jeremiah, you're now getting a very good look into this goat's mouth.
Quit moving your head.
And will you give me a...
Watch your foot, please.
I'm trying.
Give me a natural world roll.
49.
And you're 50. All right, so you've barely succeeded. Very nice. Inside the goat's mouth, you see the source of the dull green glow, although now that you're close to it, it's really faded, and what you're getting is a good view of a black rock. And you know that this rock is obsidian, which you've heard referred to as Apache tears.
Or dragon glass.
Or dragon glass. Remember, Jeremiah doesn't know what Game of Thrones is.
In canon, he does not know Game of Thrones.
All right, so I want to hold it up to the sun.
So you're going to remove the rock from the mouth?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm 100% taking the rock out of the mouth.
Jeremiah reaches into the mouth of the goat and pulls out a chunk of obsidian. And on first glance, he notices that there's a complicated symbol carved into the rock, but it vanishes as the rock makes contact with his flesh.
Huh. Why do things always break after I get them from the store?
The warranty on his Apache tier just ran out yesterday.
All right, I'm gonna get down off you now and take this with us.
Yeah, what's your foot again, please?
I'm sorry. Oh, gosh.
Can I touch the heart from where I'm at?
You can probably do a little jump and touch the heart if you'd like.
It's like, you jump up and slap it.
Can I put my pickaxe through it?
Oh.
You could do that. Yes.
I'm chaotic good.
I didn't mean to imply anything by the way I said that. I was just thinking. And now that you've taken a new interest in the heart, you've noticed that the heart also looks a little bit grayer and, dare I say, deader than it did before you took the obsidian.
Hey, it looks like this meat done spoiled. Reckon if it's gonna die, I might as well take a poke at it.
And then I'm gonna unsheath my axe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're gonna take a swing, or?
I'm gonna go mining for whatever's in this.
Okay. You raise the pickaxe over your head, take aim, and let the head of that axe drop right into the heart. There is nothing unusual inside the heart. You are looking at a disgusting mess of splayed muscle and fluid.
I told you there weren't nothing to be afraid of.
Alright, well, I guess it's time to move on then, huh?
Yeah, I reckon once you destroy the heart of a stick figure, you might as well go, unless we want to take that jewelry.
Ellie, Father Flint, and Johnny Rhodes are kind of hanging back, just waiting for your report.
Y'all are gonna have to dig me out of wherever I was. You know that scene in the Hunger Games where he's painted himself to look like the Swampwood or whatever? That's where you're gonna have to find me.
You have to roll spot hidden just to find Johnny.
I killed whatever it was.
It is still inanimate.
I think Jeremiah's been on the Burning Man party drugs.
I was with him when he was up there, and I gotta tell you, it's a little bit questionable, but he's speaking the truth.
It's all the same to y'all. I'd just soon get the fuck out of here.
The trail runs north right past the effigy.
Yeah, y'all come on now.
Let's go ahead and just ride by it, yeah.
All right, is everyone in agreement?
Yes.
Now the party heads northbound up the trail past the effigy. Everyone is processing what just happened as you turn to get one more look at that thing. And as you ride, none of you feel much like talking because you're so shaken and you're feeling sick to your stomachs.
Hey, are you boys getting hungry?
I'm picturing like a car's gas gauge, but it says jerky on it, and it's lowering as we're continuing on down the road. The jerky supplies are thinning.
As Jeremiah's sanity goes down, his jerky consumption is going up.
Did he make any jerky out of that heart?
He would have had to roll for science to do that. He's 1% science, so no.
1% science, 99% awesome.
As you continue your ride, the trail starts snaking back toward the Rio Grande, and it's nearly dusk when you notice that the terrain is becoming less barren and rocky. The soil is getting darker the further east you ride. Creosote bushes and yucca plants are starting to pop up around you, and you can hear the river now.
We should probably start looking for a place to camp for the night.
And as that thought enters Lance's brain, just ahead to the right of the trail, there is a lone cabin standing deep into a vegetation overgrowth.
Hell yeah.
Even from a distance, you notice that the cabin is dilapidated and almost disintegrating. There's an old fishing pole leaning against one corner of the house, and some decorative antlers have been turned upside down above the door frame. There is one proper window along with others created by holes in the southern side of the cabin. The wood looks to be separating from the mud and clay in many places, and the front door is barely hanging on to its hinges.
Would you call it woods? Is this a cabin in the woods?
Is that the good side of the trail, like the right side of the trail, or
The correct side? No.
It's on the correct side of the trail.
If you make an L shape with both of your hands, it's the one that looks backwards.
Yeah, I didn't do much reading.
I don't see anything that could possibly be wrong with this. I think we should go in there.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I reckon I could sleep.
Can I eyeball this cabin and see if we can see some bad juju or something? I don't think I have a cabin like a Bob Vila roll.
a Bob Vila roll? This
I'd
old
like
house.
to make sure that this old house is sound.
Give me a JoJo roll to see if this thing's made a shiplap.
Yeah, no, I roll chip. I'm gonna demo this house. I'm gonna knock out some walls. We're gonna get some open concept in there.
Why don't you give me a just a spot hidden, I guess.
All right.
See if you can see anything
It's
interesting.
a 79.
Right.
Oh, wait, that works now. That didn't used to work.
Yeah, you got some bonus points at the end of the last episode. So it's a barely success. And on the exterior of this cabin, you do not see anything particularly interesting or threatening. It's exactly as I described. Just some dilapidated wood, a framed out window and door, and an old fishing pole.
An abandoned cabin, what could go wrong?
I'm just gonna go knock on the door. Do I need to roll at this point?
How good are you at knocking? No, you can just knock on the door. And nothing happens.
All right, I yell back to the party. I don't think there's anyone in there.
Hey, Lance, why don't you go ahead and open that door and see if anything's in there?
All right, so I kick open the door.
Okay.
Fuck
Fucking
yes.
bad boys.
It's going to be a cold night.
There's no door to this cabin anymore.
Wait, he didn't roll strength there.
So as I kick in the door, I yell, "Here's Johnny."
Okay.
Wait,
And then Johnny runs in.
and then I do a tight 5, and then I introduce my first guest.
Please do a tight 5.
Hey, this place is nice.
Actually, the inside of the cabin is, well, I guess it could be nice for Jeremiah and Johnny, but otherwise the cabin is very dark around the edges, but there is enough light pouring in through the holes in the roof and the walls that you can see some things. Actually, the cabin's a bit bigger on the inside than it looked on the outside, but not by much, and it's still quite cramped when it comes to getting all 5 of you in here. There's a pretty thick layer of dust coating almost everything inside this cabin, including what looks like a moth or rat-eaten bedroll sitting on top of an old wooden frame that's on the right side of the cabin. Also on that side, there's a small writing desk with a chair next to it, everything very rickety looking. And the floorboards seem to be rotting in certain places. There are bits of broken glass on the ground from where one of the windows was busted in. And there is a lot of dirt accumulating around a decrepit old chimney on the other side of the cabin. Above the fireplace, there's a mantle with a small frying pan hanging above it. And on the mantle itself, there is a medium-sized bowl.
Can I go over and check out the fireplace to see if maybe it's still warm or has been used
Sure.
recently?
Yeah. So how do you want to do that? Like, what are you looking for?
Basically, I want to see if there's coals that are still warm.
All right. So you see some rubbish inside the hearth.
Rubbish.
Rubbish, like
Oh dear.
No, I know what rubbish is.
no coals,
You are very Irish, so I guess that tracks.
no sign of a recent fire being lit here.
Can I go through the rubbish and see if there's anything of interest?
Yes, there is nothing of interest in the rubbish.
Okay. Well, can't win them all.
Can y'all just say rubbish a few more times?
Hey, y'all come look at this rubbish.
Hey, I ain't seen rubbish in quite a while. I'd like to take a look.
There's a shitload of it in here.
As you're kind of milling around inside the fireplace, you do see that
Looking at the rubbish.
the damper is closed.
Right. What's the damper?
The damper is the thing that you open and close to let the smoke out.
Is that up in the pipe?
You're on chimney talk. Caller.
The damper has to be totally open before you light a fire, because if it's not, smoke will start generating in your home.
Ole Miss knowledge coming in.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I could be totally wrong.
No, we are being super Texan right now, and I feel like we need more knowledge.
We are people who do not use fireplaces that often.
All this chimney talk's putting a damper on this gameplay right now.
Lance was looking to see if this was used recently, so it could be just another indication.
All right, I'm going to go down there and look under the bed. There's always good stuff down there.
I'm gonna lie down on that bed and rest for a bit.
All right, so Father Flint goes and lays down on that disgusting bedroll and passes out immediately, while Jeremiah gets down on his hands and knees and takes a peek under the bed, and he sees nothing but a thick coating of dust.
Well, that was dumb.
I would like to stomp the floorboards to see if there's a crawl space or a basement. We're going to inspect the fuck out of this house.
I want to find a warp zone.
Yeah, after episode 1, every inch is getting inspected here. Johnny is going to stomp on the floors to see what he can figure out from doing that.
And he falls through, breaks his leg, and has
and passes into another dimension.
I think I can't decide if it's probably a listen, right?
Yeah. I want to hear the hollowness.
Yeah, give me a listen on that, Johnny.
Okay, listen. Is that a thing? Oh, I'm good at that. Yeah, that's a 26. Oh, that's a hard success.
Yeah.
So Johnny pulls up his leg and slams his size 6.5 foot down onto that floor, and he strikes one of those rotting floorboards, which is very loose. He knows that with just a little bit of effort, he would be able to pry up that floorboard with his hands. And based on the sound his foot made, he's pretty sure there's a lot of space down there.
Hell yeah, buried treasure. Open it up without hesitation.
Johnny, without hesitation, is going to pry open this loose floorboard.
And tentacles come shooting out.
Unfortunately for Johnny, he gets down there on the floor and without any caution, just reaches into that space for the treasure he thinks is there and he's met with the claws and teeth of swarming, furious rats that are living under the floors.
That tracks.
All right. So, Johnny.
I've got a 73 in rats. Rodentia is a skill, right? Oh, that says rope use. I'm sorry.
This rat infestation, Johnny, is catching you off guard a bit because you were just, you had your mind on treasure.
Damn right.
Underneath the floor, and instead you got probably about what we would consider 2 packs of rats, about 20 rats down there.
That's a bad rat habit.
That's like, yeah, that's 1/10 of a carton of rats.
And they're going to be able to attack you.
I have a question about the rules of this game.
Yeah.
I have a thing that says dodge.
Yeah, you can do that next time you fight the rats, but on the first round, they're just attacking.
Because he's at disadvantage.
Just definitely getting some rats.
They're going to take 2 damage. So I'm going to say one of those rats takes a really good bite of your wrist, Johnny, and it is excruciating and terrible.
Fun. Okay. Y'all, I'm not a large man and I can be taken down by rats. I would just like to say that out loud.
Is that a major wound for you?
It hurts my pride.
I think we should set the whole house on fire.
Are you the one who wanted to burn the effigy?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
I'm not going to lie. I do like fire.
So whose turn is it?
You got bitten and you pulled away quickly.
Right. Once bitten, twice shy.
If y'all are gonna fight the rats, which is an option for you, then I'm gonna go by dexterity in terms of the order. So Jay and Johnny, you're the highest in dexterity. So I'd say
Damn Skippy.
Excuse me, sir. Who is Jay?
Lance and Johnny. So since you were, this could be like revenge for you, Johnny. I'll give you the first action.
Goddamn right. I pull out my Bowie knife.
Okay.
Not the butter knife.
Not the butter knife. That shit was my grandmother's, and it is not for fighting. It is for taunting people who are about to be executed. That's what she told me in her will. I didn't write it.
She had a lot of foresight.
Well, where there's a will, there's a way.
So what do I do to stab multiple rats at once? How many rats are we talking about?
You get a rat
20
kebab.
rats.
20 rats.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're in close quarters combat with rats right now.
Sure.
So it's gonna be
That's a great sentence.
it's gonna be your fighting against their fighting skill.
I'm going to get all stabby with some rats and almost certainly fail at that.
You mess with Crabbo, you get the stabbo.
Yeah, that's a 46. That's a fail.
So Johnny, in your thirst for revenge on that one rat that bit your wrist, you swing very wildly in a big slashing motion, and you badly miss everything. They're able to dodge your attack completely.
Oh, how convenient for them that they could dodge. That must have been nice for them to get to use that skill that was on their character sheet.
You should dodge.
Oh, to be a rat.
Well, they saw you coming. The rats
sure they
are a
did.
little more intelligent than Johnny, apparently.
Yeah, they looked at me and said, that guy's definitely stabbing us next. As rats are wont to do.
All right, so Lance, you'll have the next option.
Aim center mass of the mass of rats.
Yeah, exactly. So accuracy is not as important.
To clarify, accuracy not important for him, very important for me, though,
Yes,
right?
for you, they're dodging everything.
This is, everything's turning up Johnny around here, is what I'm saying.
These are Lovecraftian rats, dude.
And they are specifically, they're actually called anti-Johnnies.
I love it.
I got a 5
Ooh.
You
and
critted
a
on
13.
Hell yes, you fucking cleaned them.
What was the second one?
A 13.
All right, so go ahead and describe what you've done to the rats here.
We are literally going to nickname you the Exterminator at this point.
Awesome.
Look, I've pulled up my guns, both of them at this time, and I fired them into the mass of rats. The bullet tears through them, and it's a beautiful sound. The squeaking, the squealing of those rats. It's magical. And it seems to send a signal to the one or two that may survive. that they should get the hell out of Dodge.
Are you okay?
And Colin Brock's the insane one, right?
And you look up and we're all just looking at you.
Hell, man, I'm with you.
Lance just looks completely bloodthirsty. So y'all have a pretty clear view now of the crawl space.
And my treasure, which is mine. Johnny says that out loud.
Did the rats have rabies?
Shh, Jesus, dude.
Do the chickens have large talons?
Johnny, you get down on the floor to check it out, and immediately you're hit with a terrible smell from those dead rats. Mm-hmm. And you do see what you think is the head of your arch nemesis, that rat that took a bite out of your wrist. So you're feeling pretty nice. And you can make out something a little bit shiny down there. Mm-hmm. So you reach into that opened up floor space and you pull out a pouch tied up with reflective gold thread.
Sure.
Johnny, you open that pouch and pull out what is a roughly cut stone relic of some kind. This is very old, and there are hieroglyphics on the front side.
Can I don't know, look at it more? What do I need to roll to see if I can figure out what this is?
To you, Johnny, the hieroglyphics look like two men wearing masks, one with a bird mask and the other with a dog mask, lifting up a bird. It might be a stork. And above these creatures is what you think is an intricate symbol, but much of the etching has been worn away by time and possibly water or something. This doesn't really mean anything to you, but it is weird and interesting, and maybe it will make you rich. You flip over the relic and see letters and numbers drawn onto the back, indicating that this was once part of a collection, maybe at a museum.
Okay. So is this thing like bigger than a bread box? Like...
No, it's actually quite small. It is the size of a belt buckle. It's like a belt buckle.
Oh, hell yeah. Can I wear it as a belt buckle?
Do it.
Sure. There's no clasp or peg to attach this to your belt, but Johnny just kind of tucks the artifact behind the front of his belt. So it kind of looks like a buckle.
Sheriff, what do you make of this?
Honestly, I don't know what I'm supposed to make of it.
You could roll history for me, Ellie.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you if you know anything about it.
71.
Okay, your history is 5%, so it was a long shot. So you look at this and you have no idea what the hell
No
it is.
clue.
And I say, well, don't mind me. It's just my belt buckle.
That's exactly what it is. So for the rest of you, how are you feeling about this cabin investigation so far?
Does the desk have a drawer?
It does.
Can we look in it?
Sure.
Okay.
So
Rats.
10 rattlesnakes. So Ellie opens the drawer, and inside there is a pistol, a 32.
Yes.
Ooh.
How many pistols you need, Sheriff?
Don't ask me personal questions.
Sheriff, I'm just saying some of us don't have pistols, is all. That's all right, though. I understand.
And there's not like one of those secret drawers. You know how desks can be.
You know how desks do.
like older desks, you know how they have the little hidden space where like you can put sensitive things.
Porn drawers, you can say it.
Yes, let's find a hidden compartment.
Okay, give me a spot hidden roll.
Okay. What is it again if it's double zeros?
Is it 000?
No, it's like double zeros and 4.
Oh, that's good. That's a 4.
Holy crap.
Okay.
Yeah. If it was all zeros, that would be 100, which is a bad thing.
Yeah.
All right. So that's really good because you don't have a good spot hidden skill. Yours
True.
is 20. So rolling a 4, you have extreme success, just barely. So in the back of that drawer where you found the pistol, there's actually a false back. And you kind of tap on it and you're able to kind of just pry that thing out with your fingernails. You find a journal.
I knew it. I knew there was a journal.
It is kind of just a grungy old book with a soft cover made of some type of leather, and there's nothing else on the cover itself. But when you open the book on the first page, you see that this is a research log from someone named Kate Caldwell.
Kissing Kate Caldwell.
Oh, you know her too?
Is there a rock hammer inside the book?
No, there's not. Ellie, the first few pages of this journal seem to be ripped out, and you get to the first readable page, and you can see the end of some notes on what you assume is an ancient artifact. The entry below that catches your attention because it's been circled a few times and is titled Readings from OHE 17968.
I came across a rather fascinating collection of untranslated stories on the artifacts that were uncovered during archaeological expeditions to the northern regions of Egypt. These languages have been mostly forgotten, but given my experience in symbology of the early Egyptians, I will be able to describe these pieces over the next several months. This is most exhilarating.
The next entry is very worn and parts are missing or faded, but you are able to read this.
The hieroglyphics suggest to me the story of a god or mage who must mutilate one's soul amongst other atrocities. I dare not write those here until...
And a stain seems to blur out some of the words here. Then...
I must spend more time deciphering these messages.
Ellie, the further you dig into this book, the more convinced you become that there is something related to the occult going on here. And at that realization, you instinctively close the book.
And I'm asking Alex, are you sharing this information with the rest of the team?
So I would share it with Lance.
I love that you're all showing like one person what you find
We have alliances.
in this 12 by 12 cabin.
Is there a sleight of hand we need to be rolling?
Okay, I'm not necessarily hiding it, but I wanna ask Lance about it.
Focus on Lance.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Lance, what are you going to do with this?
Can he roll something to see if he knows something about it that...
Yeah, that'd be a good point. Maybe.
I mean, you could give me an occult roll.
Where I have 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, she got a 4. You got this?
I'm not gonna lie, like I'll probably roll this and it'll end up being like a 99.
And then you all die.
71.
All right.
Okay, so Lance, you don't have anything particularly insightful to add about this book, but you do open it up and take a look at another entry, and you see these words.
I have seen something during my walks around Lake Matoka. I glimpsed a figure with long limbs and glowing eyes. Then it was gone. I would not be writing of this were it not for the dream. That dreadful dream of a black, faceless beast haunts me, and I truly cannot say whether it was actually a dream or not.
And after this entry, you kind of thumb through some pages and see that she traveled to places like Edinburgh, Arkham, London, and Cairo. Beyond that passage, Lance, this book is Greek to you, maybe literally. The writing devolves into symbols, scribbles, and unfamiliar languages.
Yeah, so I'm really sorry about this, Ellie, but Alpha, Pi, Rho, Sigma, Chi, Epsilon. I don't know nothing. Those were the Greek characters that I knew.
Yeah, no, we're with you. Hey there, Sheriff, what you reading?
What are you guys up to over there?
Nice belt buckle.
Hey, I showed her the belt buckle. It's nothing. I mean, it's not impressive. She agreed. Sheriff, you mind if I take a closer look at that book?
That's fine.
Johnny is very interested. I don't know if there's, and tell me if there's not, is there anything left I can do to glean further information from this, or have we pretty much milked this cow?
You may have milked it for now, but I'd give you a crack at the occult roll.
Okay, I also have the 5.
Yeah, everybody gets a 5% chance.
Yeah, it's a 63.
Okay, so there's nothing you can really pick up, but you observe, just like Ellie, that this is some weird shit that should be examined further at some point, maybe by somebody who's knowledgeable.
Can I take a look at it and roll for occult?
He said in character.
Sure.
Okay. Hey, why don't you hand me that book? I want to take a read. Come on now. Oh shit, 97.
If he had gotten 100, would the book just burst into flames or something?
So Jeremiah takes a hold of this book, and he's pretty sure he's going to be able to figure out what's going on. And he opens to a page near the end of the book and reads this passage.
The darkness has given me another sign. Was it a dream? I was asleep, but awoke to mud on my shoes. I am headed to Miskatonic to find the next fragment. I know it is there. The next piece of this god-forsaken puzzle. I must keep my head right for Dr. Henry.
And the last thing you see is...
He is done. He is coming.
And Jeremiah, you're very excited.
I'm excited.
Well, when you're reading this, and you accidentally tear out a couple of pages from this book, and as a draft blows through this cabin, those pages fly right out the opening where the door used to be.
That's what you get for kicking the damn door in.
Yeah, way to assign blame.
I can't believe you've done this. Do we have a title of the book, perchance?
No, there was nothing on the cover. It's just a research journal.
You have a body too.
Jeremiah, why don't you go on out there and see if you can find those pages?
All right, I'm gonna go run around outside.
Alone. And why don't you leave your armaments inside?
I'm taking everything with me.
So Jeremiah turns to exit the cabin, and there is a man standing in the doorway.
Whoa.
His sunken narrow eyes are fixed on you, Jeremiah. The leathery skin on his face is covered with scattered patches of wiry white hair.
Hey, this guy's good looking.
He's wearing a wide-brimmed hat made for a man with a much larger head. His clothes are covered in dirt from head to toe, and you can't even guess the original colors. You can see how bony his legs are through large tears in his pant legs. In one hand, he holds an overfull sack over his right shoulder. The other hand alternates between scratching his face and elbow.
Ah, you've stumbled upon this old house. Interesting, is it not? Move aside, young one. I have things to say. Many things.
I've been around the block a few times, old man. You want to go?
I see you have some spark to you. That is good. You will need that. However, I am afraid you are not ready.
I'd like to shoot him in the foot.
We always instantly go to attack mode. I'm going to shoot this guy.
To be fair, I said I was going to shoot him in the foot, so it wouldn't be like a femur miss.
This is the first person who has not tried to kill us the second they saw us. And so we just decided to kill them instead.
No, I was kidding about that.
All right, well, why don't you come on in and tell us where we are?
You invite me inside? I lived here once. But yes, I will come inside.
Also, what's your name?
Names, funny thing indeed. They hold the essence of a person, yet mean nothing. My name, I reckon that's not important.
I reckon it is.
Cup didn't write a name.
I reckon that you may have had one too many edibles.
A persistent lot you are. If you're going to push me, Sparky. I was once known as Sparky, long ago.
You and my horse, Mr. Wriggles, would get along.
We need a fire, you betrayer.
And his eyes fall on Lance.
Go outside around back, fetch some wood, and we will start a fire.
So I'm gonna go outside and fetch some wood.
Okay. And Lance, I think he was just kind of taken aback by this man, and he actually did go around the back of the house and find a little pile of wood, which he has collected and returned to the house with.
It's been a long journey for me. I shall sit. Bed's quite lumpy.
Well, you'll have to shove the priest off of it.
Yeah, and wipe off some rat guts.
And he does sit himself down on the bed next to Father Flint.
Sparky, can I ask you a question?
Yes, inquisitive. I like that. Ask your question.
Do you have any knowledge about foreign languages, perhaps?
Language is a funny thing, isn't it?
Sparky, are you a bot?
I know some very old languages, yes.
We have this book. Would you mind taking a look at her?
Her. I believe I have seen her, but I will look at your book. Where did you find this journal?
Well, it's a crazy story, but we were attacked by these rats, and we were trying to find their nest.
Sparky, you mind if we impose on your hospitality? We're looking for somewhere warm to crash for the night.
Yes, you shall stay. As you can see, there's ample space on the floor. Let me get this fire going so we can have a meal together, my new friends.
Sparky slings that bag off and over his shoulder, and it crashes at his feet with a cloud of dust. He begins rifling through the contents of the bag, tossing out an assortment of strange items on the floor, including turquoise jewelry, a variety of mushrooms, leaves, and other plant pieces, small rocks, crumpled papers, and even ammunition. After a minute or two, he finds what he's looking for.
Yes, here we go.
And he hobbles his way over to the fireplace and lights a fire. He stokes that fire for quite a while before taking down a bowl, which you now believe to be a copper bowl, from the mantle. Then he pours what he found in his sack into the bowl and starts mashing it with his fingers. It's like a mortar and pestle, but his hand is the pestle.
Sparky, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a grip since I had a mojito. I am down with what you are doing, my dude.
So he's working on, and you are all, unless you want to speak to him more, you're all just kind of watching him in awe, because the way he moves his body is jarring, and kind of everything about this man is strange.
You see, one thing you need to know about this world is that it is nothing. There are powers that you should not tamper with.
Now Sparky turns to Jeremiah.
Yet there is always one who pokes at the heart of powers he does not know, cannot comprehend. You cannot see yet. So I must show you.
Then Sparky looks up from what he's doing and smiles at all of you. It's a knowing grin that is,
It looks like it's almost too wide for his face.
Yes.
Y'all are weirding me out.
He takes a handful of what now is like an ash or a dust out of his bowl, and he throws it into the fire. And immediately, the fire turns a green color, and smoke starts to heavily billow from the fire and fill the cabin.
Sorry, did you not open the damper?
Father Flint is startled awake, and all of you are coughing, and you're feeling your bodies being pulled in every direction, and your hearts sink down into your stomachs. Then, only darkness.
Oh, Jeremiah, he jumped in the fire. The fire was so high. He jumped in the sky. The sky fell apart.
Thank you for joining us for episode 2 of Aint Slayed Nobody. Follow us on social media. We are Aint Slayed on every platform. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts if you use that. And check out our website at ain'tslayednobody.com. I want to thank the cast of our show. We have Alex Mcdaniel as Ellie Bishop, Wes Davis as Jeremiah Fensworth, Chuck as Johnny Rhodes, Jay Arnold as Lance Kilkenny, and Brandon Waynerdy as Father Flint Westwater. I'd also like to thank Will Baser, my deputy keeper, who is helping me considerably build this world for you and develop the story and make sure that everything's kind of tying together. He's been a tremendous help to me. Also, a huge thank you to everyone who created the royalty-free music that we use on the show, along with some of the music that I'm composing. I want to thank everyone who's designed sound effects from the sound libraries that I own. Thank you, Cody Fry, for Dead Man Walking, the amazing song that we're using as a theme. Thank you to Victoria Hogan, who voiced Kate Caldwell in those journal entries. Believe it or not, that was one NPC that I did not voice. And thank you to Eileen Shannon, who sang vocals on my rewrite of Old Jeremiah, the old children's song. We really appreciate everyone who's been involved in the show, most of all, you, the audience. I'd like to thank the people who've joined our posse over on Patreon. We have Alex, Chris, David and David, Jason, John and Johnny, Marty, and of course, Chaotic Amateurs, and they have their own podcast that you should definitely check out. Our next episode will be March 10th. We are on a second Tuesday of the month schedule at the moment. Please join us then and do whatever you can to get the word out in the meantime. We appreciate y'all. I want to thank everyone over on our Discord server. If you don't know how to get there, send us a note and we'll link you up. Mini Titan 10, Peng Thulu, a bunch of people who are already with us on Patreon. There are so many cool people over on Discord. Please do stop by. We're trying to build up that little community. I am Cuppy Cup, your keeper of arcane lore. Thank you and good luck out there.